Okay, I think it's time to get this show on the road. Well, hello to anybody that's here. My name's Maria Miran, and we are going to be playing some Delta V today. I saw that this hit 1.0 not too long ago. Actually, it was about a month or two ago, and this is a game that I've watched for a long time because I love the idea of space games and mining and stuff like that. I used to do a lot of mining and things like that in Eve and other space games, so it's always a little bit of a niche that I've enjoyed. So this game was right up my alley, and I've been watching it in early access for a long time, and now that it hit 1.0, I added it to my ever-growing Steam backlog, and today I figured I'd finally give it a shot. Now that I've got everything working on my stream, we did a test stream not too long ago, and everything worked out pretty well for that. So, with that being said, I've got the game up here. Let's go to it. It's a pretty rudimentary looking game, but at the same time, it's pretty crunchy. There's a lot of physics simulation involved. Obviously, the name of the game is Delta V, so if you know anything about physics and aeronautics and astrodynamics and all that fun stuff, then this game is going to be a lot more in tune with your preferences, I suppose, is a good way to put it. But with that being said, it's still a game, and even if you don't understand a lot of science and other mumbo-jumbo, you'll still get it. You'll still pick it up as time goes on. I also thought it was kind of funny, since they hit 1.0, they got this funny little counter up here to tell you how many people are currently playing. Not a whole lot, but that's okay. I'm gonna add my voice to the chorus. So let's see what we can do. I'm gonna start a new game, and I did play a little bit of this a couple of days ago, just to kind of give it a try and get used to the controls and see how everything works and all that. So with that being said, I'm not entirely new to the game, but I'm still new enough that I'm sure I'm gonna get dead very, very quickly. But we will see. The ships in this game, you don't actually get to name anything, you just kind of select it. So I'm gonna see. Let's just hit the random button here and see if we can come up with something interesting. Obviously, the more innuendo, the better. But let's just see what we've got here. I don't know. Psychological spleen has got an alliterative ring to it. What else have we got? Unbearable exhaust. Oh, what do we got? Let's just, you know what? Okay, capricious Omega it is.
You have to question everything. Why do people go missing in the
Boy, oh boy. Sorry about that, could not get the cutscene to go away. That's actually the trailer that they originally played on the 1.0 release as well, so if you're ever curious. It is a fully CG little cutscene, so it's very interesting. But anyway, so this is the beginning of the game. When you start out, it's not terribly lively. This is actually the space station that you're based at as you do mining. And that's pretty much the whole game, is you are effectively a a low-rent miner in the rings of Saturn, mining ice and iron and all sorts of other fun things, and trying to make a name for yourself. It's kind of a ramshackle thing. If you're familiar with The Expanse and the Belters, it's very reminiscent of that and that kind of aesthetic and stylistic choices. So like all the ships are kind of just cobbled together from older refitted stuff, and it's all got a kind of a what's the word? Rustic? I don't know if rustic is the word. Kind of backwater feel to it, which again is right up my alley. With that being said, we only start out with a little bit of money and not really enough to do anything important. But one thing that you do want to do, or at least that I have found, is go hire some crew, because you don't start out with any crew at the beginning of the game, and crew gives you different abilities. It will essentially let you inspect asteroids before you mine them. It will help you find other ships out in the belt as you're exploring. They do a lot of different things. And the one that I have found that you want to have almost right away is a good geologist, because the geologists are the ones that are going to help you understand how much the rocks that you're mining are worth. If you don't have a geologist on board your ship, you can see the rocks that you're mining, but you have no idea what they are until you actually pick them up. And because trying to capture these rocks is a little bit of an effort, you have to spend fuel and resources to chase these rocks down. You want to make sure that every rock that you pick up is worth the money and the effort that you're putting in. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of geologists here, and the ones that there are, and this is all randomly generated, by the way, so if I did a new game, then this will be an entirely different list, and all the people are randomly generated. The ships are randomly generated from templates, so there's a lot of procedural generation, but this game does kind of play like a roguelite in that regard, so there's incentive to start over again if you don't get things right, or if you're just not happy with the way your run is going. Unfortunately, I don't think there's only 2 geologists here, and I can't hire either one of them. They are both too expensive for me to hire. And that's not good. So I think what I'll do instead is, do we have a pilot? Because a pilot will help us navigate and improve our ship's handling and things like that. They'll also help us hail people and communicate with other ships that we find. So I want to try to find, I don't need a good pilot right away, I just need a pilot. And unfortunately, there aren't any that are super cheap either, so you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna, what was this lady's name? Alright, Lorelei Mahan, you are the one that I'm taking with me today. I don't even know if you're good, but we're gonna find out the hard way. And that leaves us with 5,800 E-bucks. I'm gonna call them E-bucks. So this is where we launch into the ring dive. This is the part where we're actually going to head out to the rings. We're leaving the station. So where they drop you in is just on the outside of the rings here, and most of the minerals and stuff that you're gonna find here are very low value. So there's kind of a meta here to either move farther into the rings, and obviously you can go pretty deep, but as you see, there's a certain cost attributed to that, and the farther in you go, the more money you have to spend. So by going all the way out to the outer edge of the rings, you spend almost no money, but you also don't get much money in return. So what I have tended to do, at least in the beginning, is to start out on the outer portion of the ring and then sort of dive into like this first strata here to try to find a little bit more useful or a little bit more valuable minerals, and then get my way back out, at least for the first couple of runs. And again, runs can take anywhere from 30 minutes to a couple of hours, depending on the ship, how much storage you have, and how much time you're willing to spend. So I'm going to go ahead and start out at the outer edge, and we will fly out to the rings, and let's see what we can find out there. Hopefully I'll get lucky and it'll be something worth a lot of money. And I can fast forward through this, but I figured I'd let it run at least once. And so here we are. So finish the braking thrust, and that is it. We are free and clear. So obviously you can see there's already little asteroids out here, but I can tell you just from experience, these asteroids are going to be effectively worthless. Stop it. Stop it. So your ship has autopilot, and it absolutely is essential for like maintaining a steady course and things like that. Your ship will kind of drift as time goes on, but I do have manual control and things like that. But whenever you put on the autopilot, it's gonna do a lot of those little jittery kind of boosh, 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 trying to constantly compensate for motion. So that gets a little irritating to me because it's a waste of fuel. But anyway, on this first run, about the only things that I'm particularly concerned about at the moment are going to be the propellant and the transit reserve. The transit reserve is effectively the amount. The propellant is how much fuel we have. That's how much fuel we currently have in the ship. And the transit reserve is how much we need to get back without incurring extra costs. So I definitely don't want to go below this number, but the problem is that number is going to increase as we pick up more stuff. The heavier our ship gets, the more fuel we're going to have to burn to get back. So that's the trade-off, and that's where, again, the stats start to get a little chunky. But either way, I'm going to go ahead and start moving into the belt. Actually, hold on just a second. There we go. I realized I was covering up the ore hole, what? Again, I can words. The cargo hold. I was covering up a little bit of the cargo hold, so. Anyway, we're going to get into the belt, and I'm going to hit the thrusters so we can build up some initial speed here. And you may not be able to see it. I'm not sure if you're going to pick it up on the stream, but there's very faintly a little triangle with a line here, and that indicates our direction of travel. At least that's where our momentum is taking us. So as we go here into the belt, I'm going to use that indicator to help me dodge the asteroids so that we don't run into them. And you're hearing all these beeps. That is LiDAR, and I forgot to turn that off. You can actually turn those indicators off so that the game isn't constantly beeping at you. I don't know about you guys, but I personally find the beeping annoying because I don't necessarily need it. But I will try to remember when we finish this dive and head back. I will try to remember to turn that off because you have to do it at the station. Let's try my target practice here. Nope. Nope. Oh, well, that's what I get for hot dogging it. So there we go. I have picked up literally nothing, and I've already damaged the ship. Hopefully not too much. But yeah, I definitely need to work on my aim a little bit. Oh, of course. I can hit that just fine. What I'm keeping an eye on right now is number 1 out in front of us to make sure that we're not going to run into anything. But I'm also keeping an eye out here at the visual feed. This tells me roughly where I am in the rings. So we're actually coming up on the strata that I wanted to be in, and we're also in a little bit of an uncontrolled spin, so let me adjust for that. I think I'll get past this big boy rock right here, and then we'll go ahead and stop and actually start with the mining. And again, this is, I don't know if this is what you would call meta, but it seems like the logical choice to me to take the cheap entrance to the rings, and then once you've done that, actually take the time to move into the more lucrative areas. We're going to come to a complete stop, kill all of our momentum, and now we're going to break some rocks and see what we find. Unfortunately, without a geologist, I'm just going to have to kind of pick up whatever I find. Now, there are some things, like I've learned that any any minerals that look like they're blue are usually beryllium, and that's one of the more valuable minerals. But as you can see, the momentum kind of just moves all these rocks out, and I can autopilot to them, and it will align me to those on a course, but I still have to actually chase them down. And yeah, that was just water and iron, which is basically worthless. Let's see. Let's take a shot at this boy here. And the weapon that we're using is the default weapon that they give you at the very beginning of any game. And that is the... It's like a railgun, basically. Good ballistic damage, but ultimately it's not super effective against asteroids. At least in the long term. The other disadvantage to mass drivers is you have to carry ammo for them, and that ammo adds to the weight. As you can see here, mass driver ammo, there's a little over 1,000 kilograms on board the vessel, which is 1,000 kilograms I could be using to fill up with cargo instead. So, as soon as I'm able, I will be switching over to a mining laser, which does not require me to carry any ammo, but we'll have to actually make some money before that becomes a relevant decision. So we got some tungsten from that one. Not a whole lot, but tungsten is one of the more valuable minerals, so hopefully that'll lead to some decent profit. And I've kind of tested the waters a little bit as far as the best way to mine early game. I know a lot of people will just go in and shoot all of the asteroids and break them up and have a million of these little green blips everywhere, but I tend to like to leave the larger asteroids to bump into each other, at least initially, because it will help stop some of that drift. So like if this little beep goes up here and hits that asteroid, then it'll be in a good position for us to pick it up, even if it does ultimately end up being worthless. Well, here I was talking about conserving the big rocks, and then I can't seem to hit anything. Alright, let's go grab up some of these. So if you're looking at the signal feed in the top right, you may be noticing all of these bright flashes. And typically that is to indicate that there is some kind of either a ship or some other item of interest. And this one, I'm not sure what this is, but we'll find out. It's a little bit on the brighter side, so it might be tungsten, might be vanadium. What do we got? Looks like more tungsten. Just a little bit more. And again, on this early run, I'm not going to pay a whole lot of attention to what I'm actually picking up. I just need to gather as much as I can to make some money, and then with that money we can upgrade the ship, upgrade our systems, hopefully hire some competent crew. And that is the dream, at least. Unfortunately, we've only made approximately 14,000 E-bucks so far if we sell all the minerals that we've collected, so not a great run. But enough to pay the bills at least and get us back out to the belt. As you can see, our transit reserve is at about 21k, so we've got about 4k propellant left to play around with before we're going to have to consider heading back. And again, that will go a bit lower as I waste more propellant and as we collect more minerals. Yes, yes. Beep, beep. Beep, 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 beep. Yes. But I think we'll just... I'm gonna continue the momentum here so as not to burn too much more propellant. Let's see, do we have anything coming up? We do. Oh. There we go. And so we're already on a collision course with this one. We'll just go ahead and drift right into it. Oh, there we go. A little bit of vanadium. I'm gonna do something dumb here. Like I said, we'll just keep the momentum for now. I don't know. We're pretty close to the transit reserve, and I don't want to risk it. We're sitting on about 40k. That vanadium pickup and a little bit more tungsten definitely helped us out, so let's go ahead and bring ourselves to a stop, and we will get out of here. Gonna be cutting it close. That's okay. So we'll go to the astrogator. And you know what? Let's just see. Yeah, we got some people around. I'll hail them just for fun. Let's see. Somebody wanting handouts? No, sorry. No handouts. But I'll go ahead and mark you as friendly. And you're not gonna let me hail these other guys? Okay. Yep. Let's go ahead and plot a course back to the station. And let it do the astrogation. This is another part of the game that you do have to sometimes do manually, but you can hire an astrogator for that. Come on. Why are you like this? You can hire an astrogator so that it takes less time and less fuel to actually make these burns to get where you need to go, which obviously saves on fuel economy, and that's always a good thing. And there we go. And let's see what we got. Oh yeah, the estimation wasn't too bad. 37k. It's not the best, but it's a decent first payday. And now that we're back at the station and we have 42 grand to spend, obviously the first thing I want to do is see if we've got ourselves a geologist that we can hire. I don't know how often these refresh. I don't know if it's every time you come back. But I did see one geologist up at the top. I just want to take a look at the rest. So you got price prediction accuracy is a good thing to have. It will help you get more accurate estimates of what each little nugget is worth. But mineral discovery range is also important because if you can't tell, if your mineral discovery range is low, then the issue that you run into is, yes, you may be able to determine the value of a nugget, but unfortunately, that's not going to help you very much because you won't know about it until it's very, very close. So, yeah. There was somebody down here that was a master geologist, but they want 47k, so I'm not going to be able to afford them. Well, like it or not, we're just gonna have to go with mineral discovery range. So we got this person here, who's 21k versus, who is the other one? This one, who is 11k because they don't have as much experience. You know what? I'll go ahead and hire them on the cheap. Again, we can replace crew at any time. There's not really any downside to it. And they can level up and things as you go out in there. So let's have a look at equipment and see. I don't remember if we have enough to buy a laser yet. I don't think we do. Yeah, we do not. So we're going to need 70k to get either the microwave emitter or 100k to get the CL-150. In my previous playthroughs, the CL-150 is probably the best early laser. So that's definitely what I want, but for right now, we're just going to stick with what we got. So yeah, let's launch another dive. And this time, we are going to incur a little bit more cost because we have more crew this time around. And yeah, we'll do the same thing we did before. Go ahead and fast forward through all this. Alright, back at it. Let's see if anybody's nearby before we get started. Now, so this is the thing that I was talking about with the geologist. I can tell the geologist that I want them to mark things that meet a certain criteria. So I can select or deselect specific minerals. In this case, I'm going to deselect iron because I don't want iron. It will still show me iron if there are other elements in there as well, but it won't show me anything that only has water and iron. And I can also set a minimum value. So I can say, don't show me anything less than 5,000 E-bucks. And in that way, I know that I'm not going to have to worry about seeing any extremely low value nuggets, and I can just ignore them. So we'll start with that. And you know what? I think rather than dive the belt, I'm just gonna... We'll just burn in until we find our first big rock, and then stop there. Ow. Damn it. I forgot to turn off the beep. I even told myself I was going to. Now that looks blue, and blue is usually beryllium. Oh, and it was. It was absolutely some beryllium. So good catch very early on. As you can see, that's already given us 6k in the hold. Gonna do a little bit more burn to catch up to this one. Because it's blue, I suspect it is also got some beryllium in it. However, yeah, we're not getting the detection range. Oh, there we go. And this is where the geologist comes in. So you can see it's water and beryllium, and it's worth about 5,600. The other one didn't show up because, I guess, of the value? And there we go. And already, we've made a pretty significant portion. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna let that one go by. This is another thing that I have been doing in previous runs, is just sort of maintaining the momentum that I have. Man. I cannot hit anything. Come on, Murray, hit something. But yeah, trying to maintain momentum while also picking up the minerals. It's probably not worth a lot, but I'm gonna grab it anyway. Mo money, mo problems. Let's see. And there we go. And already our pilot has leveled up. Let's be nice. And I'll set them to friendly. It will remember the transponders of all the ships that you come across, and so if you know that someone is friendly and you find them again, it will... There we go. It will automatically set that up for you so that you don't have to remember whether that person was a bad guy or not. You'll also run into ships with the transponders turned off, and that's usually guaranteed to be either a pirate or someone who's going to try to kill you. Not much on this one, but we'll grab it anyway. Beep, beep, beep. We can heal this other guy as well. I'm not gonna do anything about it. I'm not gonna do anything about it. But as you can see, the range for our geologist is very low. Uh-oh. These boys might be getting frisky. Yeah, they might be getting frisky. This guy's squaring up on me and I don't like it. If he keeps following me, I'm gonna take a shot at him. That's the problem, is when you run into other people, you will occasionally find people who decide to take an attitude. And the fact that this guy is, like, he's still just sizing me up. Pointed right at me. I don't like it. So I'm gonna burn here, and I'm gonna stop and see what he does. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Thrusters will absolutely hurt you, and I don't know if that's what he's attempting to do. But I'm from these streets. I ain't gonna go out like that. All right, I think he's moving on. Or at least ignoring me for the most part. Which is good, because I can't hit a goddamn thing. Let's see, how much is that worth? Only 2,800? Yeah, and notice, because I told the geologist I didn't care about anything less than 5k, it immediately goes away once we determine the value is less than the threshold. Well, if that one's gonna come right at me, I'm gonna go ahead and scoop it up. I think we might have had a little bit of a bug. Sometimes, if you close the doors before the minerals go all the way into the hole, it'll do that kind of like angry mechanical sound. I'm not 100% sure why. What are you? What are you? Come on, geologist. Vanadium. It ain't quite 5k, but I'll take it. Well, that rock is gone. We'll go ahead and square up on this one. Even though it's kind of going the wrong direction. But I'm gonna do it anyway. It's platinum, so probably not gonna be worth a whole lot. Oh no! Stop, stop, stop it! Stop it! Stop! Sometimes the autopilot is a little bit dumb. Alright, geologist, what am I paying you for? Tell me how much the rock is worth. Oh, that one might be good. Yep. Let's go. Let's go, let's go. And again, you're probably noticing I'm taking it very slow here because the ship is not very good, and I'm trying not to burn any more propellant than I have to. Because the less propellant we burn, the longer we can stay on the ring. Whoops. Try again. Okay. 4th time's a charm. You know what? I'm gonna take that as a sign. Let's just get a little bit closer, shall we? There we go. That's more like it. Oh. I see blue. I'm gonna go after it. Why not? I probably shouldn't. And I might get myself killed. That was a little beryllium. Was actually worth it. Oh, nothing in that one. Alright. Let's just go ham. Hit something! Hit something! Oh, 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 oh! Oh! Beryllium! 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 Go! I win in any shooting contests. I know that. Yeah, baby. See, our little nugget keeps running into other asteroids and slowing it down. Now, eventually, there's supposed to be some nanobots that you can get that will actually slow down some of these nuggets to make them easier to catch. I have not made it that far in the game, but the video I was watching about it to kind of learn the ropes did mention that, so... Not sure how deep I'll have to get into the game before we get to that point, but I'm looking forward to it. Because chasing down these little nuggets is... It's not great. It's not great. It certainly does feel like a waste of energy sometimes. What are you bringing to me? Oh, no, 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 no. We ain't gonna catch that one. It's gonna go by. Ah, shit. I can't ignore 14K worth of tungsten. That's just too good. Ah, crap. There we go. What do we got? What do we got? Anything? 2 nuggets? Both look like iron mostly. Don't know what this is, but it's in the way. Oh! Ah! That hurt just a little bit. Alright, we're gonna dodge. We're gonna dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. Oh, something. What do we got? More tungsten, mostly water. Whatever. I'll take it. And as you can see, our cargo hold is getting a little bit full, and on top of that, we're pretty close to our transit reserve. Since we're pretty well heavy, I'm gonna go ahead and pack it in. Let's head on back. These must be new ships? Same ships? No, same ships. Oh, no, I'm not having this conversation right now. I'm sorry. I'll put you at friendly, but we're not having this conversation. That's a randomly generated story beat thing that I'm just not even gonna mess with because it's gonna take a minute. But yeah, let's head on back to the station. Looks like we got about 80k worth of minerals in the hold, so might get us to that microwave emitter. We can not only ditch the mass driver, but also... Why are you like this? Not only ditch the mass driver, but also the ammo with it. What are you doing? What are you doing? Plot the course to the station. There we go. I find that a little bit irritating that it does that sometimes, but I feel like that's also user error, and I just don't understand enough about the game to know why it doesn't always work. Maybe I'll find out at some point. I mean, I could definitely see myself playing this game for a while. It's got a little bit of a cozy vibe to it. Yeah, there we go. 87k. Nice little haul. And so, the very first thing I'm going to do is head over to the equipment, and we are going to ditch this mass driver and pick ourselves up the microwave emitter instead. And this will tax the power on our spaceship a little bit, but at the same time, it will help us reduce the weight, leaving more potential weight for cargo. So whenever you buy something, it automatically sells whatever you had before. And if I remember right, I don't think that there's any depreciation of your equipment. So, like, if I were to trade this in, then it would give me 40k back, and then I would just spend 40k to pick this up instead of the 70k that we originally paid for it. And I think that's good. It encourages experimentation. It encourages you to try new builds or try new equipment, because there isn't really any penalty for it, as long as you can turn around and sell the equipment, like you don't get it damaged or something. But yeah, so now that we've done that, where is my... There we go, kinetic ammunition. And we will just sell that. It's only going to give us 5k, but again, it will reduce some of our weight that we take in. I don't know if I'm going to... let's see. It might be worth getting a larger propellant tank just to give ourselves a little more time on the belt. What's the difference on this one? So we're adding about 20k propellant, but we're also adding about 15k to our transit reserve. So net, we're getting about 15k additional propellant to play with. I think that's a good trade. We're only paying 8k with the trade-in. And then I guess we'll check over here on the crew and look at potentially... Well, first of all, see if we've got a better geologist that we can hire, because I want some increased discovery range. But also look at potentially hiring ourselves a mechanic, because all of your parts are going to slowly break down over time, and having a mechanic will allow you to jerry-rig things in the field to make your ship either more or less effective or overcome damage and things like that. And you can do that without a mechanic, but the mechanic increases the efficiency of it. Let's see. Repair limit I don't think is super important, at least not to me, because I feel like it's usually better to just replace parts rather than repair them. But I also don't like to spend a lot of money on people. We will just hire the guy with no experience. Where was he? He's up here somewhere. Well, we'll hire this guy. He's a mechanic, he's self-taught, he's journeyman. So he's relatively cheap. And hopefully he'll get some experience as time goes on. And yeah, Now we can go ahead and we will launch back into the ring again. We're going to have to pay for some lodging while we wait for repairs and things. But let's see. If I go just a little bit into the ring here. Oof. And do you know what? I think it's not a terrible idea to burn at least some of the money that we've made, but I feel like we're not going to really... We're not saving ourselves a whole lot of fuel or resources by jumping. I mean, it's almost a negligible distance into the ring, so screw it. We'll launch at the edge. Work our way in. The microwave emitter should... On the one hand, it's better because we ditched the solid-state ammo, so we're going to avoid the recoil from the mass driver. We're also going to avoid the extra weight from the ammo. But the microwave emitter also has the added effect of not putting as much velocity on the nuggets when we break the rocks. Now, they will still have some velocity, but not as much as what we've been seeing. Oh no. I did it again. It hasn't started beeping at me, but I already know. I keep forgetting to turn the beep off. I'm gonna remember one of these days. I don't know what this is, but we're already doing... Oh, that's just water. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. Where's Nugget? Is there no Nugget? Oh, that's beryllium. Go for it, go for it. And is that this rock, since we're already headed that direction? Come on, sweetheart. There we go. There we go. That's another beryllium nugget. I really want to go after it, but I don't know which is worth more. So I'm just going to go after the one that we're already headed towards. Come on. Come on. Now you, come here. I didn't realize it at first, but I think there's actually some recoil on this microwave emitter, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but also I'm kind of dumb, so maybe that's actually a thing? Actually, you know what? We're not gonna do that. I'm not gonna burn all that propellant. Let's just go this direction. We got some bigger rocks over here. Come on. Brake. Brake. There we go. That was a little bit of decent. What is that? W is... Oh yes, that's a little bit of tungsten. I don't know if it's worth it though. Again, we're kind of already headed in that direction. I don't know if it's worth it to spend all that propellant to actually catch up to it. As you can see, the microwave emitter is also much less effective at breaking rocks, especially at a distance. Which is kind of disappointing. I would rather have the laser, but again, we can swap out at no cost later. That is worthless. I'm sorry, I see shiny, I want shiny. So even when I know objectively that rock is probably worthless, I still want to pick it up. Oh, there we go. That's a winner. Long direction. My god. Not today, physics. It's a lot of effort for 6,500 E-bucks. But it's blue shiny. Can't argue with blue shiny. Where are you? Nothing. And again, this is the folly of the outer belt, is so little is actually worth the effort. But we'll get there. This is not really a game of rapid progression. Not to say that it's necessarily a slow-paced game, but it is certainly not the kind of game where you're going to go from 0 to hero in 1 or 2 runs. You absolutely have to put some work into it. Like, I have only just scraped by the barest concepts of getting another larger ship. Like, I've been in this crappy ship and variations of it in the entire playtime that I've been playing this game so far. And so I know there's many different ways that people talk about, you know, how to control your ship in this game and the best way to do it and things like that. But what I have found, at least that is the most effective for me, is kind of a hybrid control scheme. So if I left click on something, the ship is going to automatically align itself to its relative velocity and its trajectory and basically try to put me on an intercept course with whatever that item is. And that's one way to do things, but I do kind of a hybrid setup where if you hold right click, you can do like what you see me doing here. By holding right click, I'm able to manually aim the ship. And I'll do that in conjunction with the directional controls to give myself some finer control. Oh my goodness. Sometimes you get caught up on these nuggets and they'll screw you up a little bit. But you can see that I'm like adjusting my course based on where my reticle is pointing. And I don't know if that's the most efficient way, but it's the way that works best for me. Although I do sometimes get my directions confused. Oh yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. There we go. Give me that beryllium. Yes, I will run into another rock for beryllium. And I'm probably going to. Oh no, no, we're gonna dodge. We're not gonna dodge the other one though. Oh, we got some vanadium, which isn't super valuable, but 3K isn't a total waste of time since we're already moving in this direction. Alright, so we're up to 33K in the hold. Not a terrible haul so far. It's the other disadvantage to the microwave emitter is the more limited range, where before I was able to just kind of snipe these. Who am I kidding? I wasn't sniping anything with that mass driver. That was a pipe dream. But that's the hope, at least, is that you could potentially snipe those. Yeah, not really worth it. Let's head down this direction. You got anybody in the vicinity? Who do we get? I'm gonna mark you as friendly, even though we're not really on friendly relations. They keep telling me, this is my claim, and I keep telling them, stuff it up your stuff hole, because there's no such thing. That's not entirely true. There are claim beacons, but I don't know exactly how they work. I haven't actually done a claim beacon yet. And with the couple of runs that I've done, at least one of them, I got attacked. So it's entirely possible. Oh no, my power. My power! That's the other part of the microwave emitter, is it's gonna burn through your energy, so sometimes you have that issue. But yeah, I in one run I did actually have just some random mining ship attack me. Because I was a butthole to them, but, you know. As I'm so fond of reminding people, freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequences, so if you're a butthole to people in space, don't be surprised if they decide that maybe you shouldn't exist anymore. And when they have a mass driver strapped to the outside of their tin can, they absolutely have the tools at their disposal to not make you exist anymore. But yeah, I just looking at some of the like videos and guides and stuff for this game, there are some really big and crazy ships and systems and things like that in this game once you get deeper in. But I have no idea how long it takes to get there. I would say right now I probably have less than 5 hours of total playtime in the game. Oof! Oof! That hurt. I probably have less than 5 total hours of playtime in the game so far, but I don't know if that's representative of a good playtime or if it's just scratching the surface. I mean, there are people that have spent 1,000 hours or 5,000 hours in roguelikes like Slay the Spire or The Binding of Isaac and stuff like that. So I mean, if this is modeled in the same vein, then I could absolutely see putting a bunch of hours in this game. More iron. Ooh, no, wrong way, there we go. It's a lot of fee and a lot of water. Not a lot of anything worth any money. Not worth it, but it's in the way. What do we get? Who are you? Okay, fine. Let's just go ahead and so that's one of the pilot skills just now. If you saw the slowdown, that's what they call adrenaline, which if the game detects that you're about to impact something, it will slow the game down for just a second, and obviously you get a little more reaction time the better your pilot is. So it gives you just a little bit of time to attempt to react and potentially not run into whatever it is you're about to run into. I don't think that's worth it. What? Okay, so they're just talking. They're just flapping jaws. Come on. Break. Break. There we go. Meep, 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 meep. Meep, meep. So we actually got some decent rocks out of this. Let's see what we get here. Are any of these worth chasing down? Oh, some of them definitely are. Okay. We're gonna bump. We're gonna bump. We're gonna bump. That one's gonna run into an asteroid, so we'll be able to pick that one up in a little bit. This one, though, we need to go after. Bust up this rock in our way so we don't run into it. And man, this is the guy we want to go after. Come on. Munch. Oh, that's a good one too. Alright, well. If you're gonna put it right in front of me, who am I to say no? No, 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 no! There we go. There we go. Get back in the right direction, please. Okay, we're still in good shape on our propellant and transit reserve, so we've got a little time to chase these rocks. I'll have to head down to... I don't... How do cardinal directions work in space? If I head down relative to the screen, does that count as south? Anyway, heading down so that I can potentially go after that larger nugget that I saw. And munch. And we'll flip this puppy around. And no. Let's. Okay, thank you. That alarm is it basically telling me my battery's about to run out. If the battery runs out, then your ship shuts down temporarily until it's able to charge back up. So that's not a thing that we want to happen. I would much prefer that that did not happen. We aren't in any danger at the moment, but one of the issues that we could potentially run into is drifting into asteroids or something. And without power, I wouldn't be able to stop that from happening, so. Now, are you the money rock? You are not the money rock. You are the money rock. So we'll get ourselves aligned a little bit here. We'll kind of thread the needle on these asteroids and pick up our money rock. We're currently at just shy of 60k, so this will get us up close to 70. Definitely a good thing. We're making more money already. The not having to contend with the mass driver shooting our nuggets off into the void is definitely helping with the microwave emitter. As much as I may complain about the range and how weak it is, you cannot deny the utility of rocks not flying off into the ether every time you shoot. Come on. There you go. Bunk. Actually, that's not a terrible one. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. Now flip this puppy back around, because that's another 8k that I want. Come here. Come here, you. I am speeding up way too much right now. get ourselves aligned. And then I'm gonna need to take out this rock so that I don't run into it. There we go. Oh, this one too. And then please align to this one because that's the money ticket right there. That is the one. Come to mama. Thank you. All right. Doing well so far. 85k in the hole. And we still got about 10k propellant to play with. Honestly, I think our cargo hold will probably fill up before we run out of propellant, which is a good thing. That's where we want to be. That puts us in a net positive. So 11k and 3k, definitely worth. But yeah, if we can fill up the hold with good material before we run out of propellant to stay in the ring, that is ideal. That means that we'll be making money each run instead of potentially just breaking even. And you can see some of our thrusters are getting a little wonky here, thanks to the autopilot. What do you got for me? Geologist? Come on, geologist. Is it a money rock or is it not a money rock? I guess the geologist is taking a nap. Alright, what do we get? These are not terrible. 3,000, 6,000, okay. We'll go for the 6,000, right. Let me just scoop you up. Gobble gobble. And since we're headed in the same direction, let's just pop this puppy and see what it's got inside. Oh. It's beryllium. It's not worth it, though. I don't know what this is, but... yeah, not worth it. Stop it. Stop it. Again, the AI is kind of dumb sometimes. And when you have a rock directly in front of you, even if you're not aligning to it, it still wants to hit the gas pedal for some reason. Alright. What do you got for me? It's like palladium, not a lot. So that's probably going to be more of the same in that rock, so... Poop on that, we'll turn around and hit some of these other rocks since we're drifting in this direction. Oh, that's... Yeah, that's a big boy right there, and that will probably fill us up. Which I'm okay with. I don't know, we might be able to cram a few more nuggets in the cargo hold before we run out of space. If you look down there on the bottom left where the cargo hold is, all the bright colors are telling us what's actually in the cargo hold. Whereas the black space is obviously the remaining room. And some of the larger ships even have like mineral refineries that will help you sort out, like break down asteroids and nuggets to only take the resources that you want, which is a very handy feature. Again, stuff that I only know about but have not made it to in the game yet. Let's see. We do have some more people around. Now? Oh, that was these guys. We'll go ahead and mark them as friendly. Who do we have here? Bounty hunters. So they're definitely friendly. Well, what about these guys? No response. Okay. That's fine. Well, I guess before we head back to the station, it's not a bad idea to just go ahead and try to break up this rock. I don't know if we'll be able to do it efficiently with this thing, though. The microwave emitter is not very good with the big rocks. You can do it! You can do it! The little microwave that could! You can do it! I don't think it can do it. There we go! Unfortunately, we still got quite a few more layers to break down. Alright. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Easy, 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 easy. There's some 4Ks in there, but I'm gonna leave them be. If I'm gonna stick one more nugget in here, honestly, I don't know if we will. I think we're just gonna pick this one up, because we're already at 32K versus 29K on our transit, so... We are almost out of propellant, and we're gonna need most of the rest of that just to get back. So I'm gonna drift up here so that our exit is clear. And we'll go ahead and put on the autopilot to bring us to a stop. And yeah, we'll hit the astrogator and let's get back to the station. Oh my. Holy chug, Batman. Alright, let's see what this payday looks like. There you go, first 6-digit haul, 104K. Now as you can see, obviously the beryllium is much less weight, but quite a bit more in terms of value. So the beryllium is always the thing you want to go for, and that's why I kind of key in on this bright blue, because if you're close enough, you'll see the nuggets have a color. And these colors correspond to the colors of the nuggets. So that's why you'll see me kind of focus in on the bright white, because I know that's the vanadium. And I also focus in on the bright blue, because I know that's the beryllium. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm looking at there. So we'll sell that, get ourselves our first 6-figure payday. And then, yeah, let's see. You know what? Let's have a look at the fleet. Can I buy anything? I've never actually tried to buy. I think it's the dealer. Let's see. Oh my. These ships are very expensive. But you can see, like, these are some of the bigger, more powerful, a little more ridiculous ships. This is the one that I see that has the little mineral grinder here on the front. But yeah, all of these are very expensive, and I don't have that kind of money yet. So, perhaps, look at the equipment instead. I don't know. The problem with this standard ship is that the types of types of equipment that I can actually put in it and still maintain a decent setup is kind of limited. Let's see, cargo bay. I can put a cargo bay baffle in, but I don't know if I really need that since it's a pretty small bay. I don't think we really need any auxiliary power. Could potentially go for a different engine or thruster. We already went for the extended propellant tanks. Nano drones, though, that might not be a bad idea. Let's see. For disposable nano drone capable of rapid delivery of selected parts to the drone assembly plant, but it doesn't say. So... Huh. Does that mean that all nano drones just slow stuff down? Screw it, it's only 20k. I'll go ahead and put it on there and see what happens. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we could potentially go to the mining laser. Oh, maybe not. It's gonna be power issues even if we could. Exceeds thermal or electric power production of your craft. Examine situation carefully. So in other words, I would have to upgrade the engine, and I would have to upgrade probably the thermal as well. In order to use the laser. But I can't afford the laser right now anyway, so that's something to look at next time around. Although, a manipulator arm could be fun. What is this? Short range magnetoplasma thrower uses thruster technology to rapidly deliver over 18 gigawatts of heat directly in front of the ship. So it's basically a death ray. It is effectively a giant flamethrower of thruster material. That sounds like fun, but it's also going to exceed thermal, so that's okay. What about crew? We've got one more crew slot open. We have our pilot, we have a geologist, we have a mechanic, so the only thing we need now is an astrologist. Or I'm sorry, an astrogator. I don't know how much we actually need an astrogator, to be honest with you. I mean, they are useful, but at the same time, I don't know. So we got an astrogator here. Basic education, beginner experience for 12k. And then there was another astrogator up here. Basic, beginner, 12k. So basically the same, just a different name. Alright. Welcome aboard. And, yeah. Let's launch a dive. Now that we've got 100k, maybe it is worth potentially trying to get a little farther into the ring. Yeah. Yeah, screw it. Let's live dangerously. I'm gonna spend the vast majority of the money that we just made going deeper into the ring so that hopefully we'll spend less time trying to actually find decent rocks. Now, real quickly, let's see if we've got any... Nothing around. Got all of our settings. Now, I did buy the drone thing, but I don't actually know how to use it, if I'm being honest. Like, I've seen it in videos, but I don't know if it's a thing that happens automatically, or if it's something that I have to actually do. Screw it. We'll find out. Well, we've already got some decent sized rocks, so let's get to work. Yeah, I know, we're gonna have to get much closer to this. So let's get a little closer. I'll go ahead and straighten our alignment out here, and then let's fry this rock and see what we get. Come on, big money. Big whammy, big whammy, big whammy. Oh my. I want to chase that, but it's gone. And there's another one. More beryllium. Would you... Really? You're just... So are the nano drones just not gonna work, or what? Like, I genuinely don't know what I need to do for the nano drones to activate. And there's all this beryllium. Why? Okay. So we know we have a beryllium rock. Let's see. I'm looking up here at the top here to see if there's something in the control scheme that will tell me. Because all I see is the boosts, the thrusters, the emitter. I am not seeing the drones. So, where, how, when, who? Like, I don't understand how to make the drones do the thing that they need to do. Maybe it's under controls. Let me see. Yeah. I already know about all those things. Yeah, it genuinely doesn't say. That's one of the disadvantages to this game, is that I've had to pick up a lot of stuff on my own, but I've also had to watch a lot of videos and things from other people to tell me exactly how different things in this game work. And I sort of assumed that the nano drone thing would be a little more intuitive, but like, I don't know if I'm missing something or what, but it's definitely not. And maybe maybe I have the wrong kind of drones, I'm not sure. I don't really know. I'm being rightly honest. Like, I was thinking there would be some kind of button that I had to hit, but... I'm gonna see what we have in this rock. If we end up with another beryllium rock or something with more crazy minerals in it, I'm gonna see if I can look this up. Come on, little microwave, you can do it! You can do it! You can do it! Anytime now. There we go. Alright. So we already got one rock coming right at us. That's definitely the one we need to focus on. It's definitely the one we need to focus on. That's an oof. I think that officially qualifies as an oof. Okay, so not a whole lot here. I don't know. I don't know. Beep. Beep, beep, beep. Come on, break the rock. Break the rock! Alright, what do you got for me? That's actually worth it. Is it, though? Let's go ahead and gobble this one up at least. Alright. Tell you what. I'm gonna have a think on this, and I also need to use the little girl's room. So, give me just a few minutes. I'm gonna put you guys on hold. And take care of that. And while I'm doing that, I think I'm gonna look this up on Google to see if I can figure out how these nano drones work. Sorry about that. Went to get a little extra water as well. I was feeling a little parched, but, I also did not bleh. I can words. I did not manage to find anything about the nano drones, so I don't know what's going on with that. I feel like this, once again, it's probably something that I'm just not understanding, but that's just the way this game is, so. Let's get back into it. Alright. Hopefully, the beryllium won't go flying off into the ether this time. But you never know. Yeah, like that. Just, why are you like this, beryllium? Getting some more beeps, so maybe we've got some people in the vicinity. I'll have to check that here in just a second. More vanadium. Rocks aren't terrible in value. Stop it. What? There we go. I'll go after that one as well. Why not? Gotta pick up something for all of our trouble out here, even if all the beryllium went flying off. It's not the only mineral in the rings, although it is the most cost-efficient one. Because the beryllium weighs so much less, it's actually really great for making money because you can haul a lot more of it without risking running out of fuel. Really, beryllium? Why you gotta be this way? Let's see. Nah, that's really heavy. I'm not gonna go for that one. I mean, it technically meets the threshold, but the rock itself is not worth that much. Not for the amount of weight that goes into it. Okay, we're definitely going after that one because it's gonna bump into that asteroid. Come to Mamba. And gobble gobble. Alright. Well, 30k isn't the worst haul ever, considering how long we've already been out here. You know, I wonder if the nano drones are like Mass Driver in that it requires like a certain amount, like does it require ammunition? Like maybe there's a drone dispenser, but then you actually have to pay for the drones as well, I wonder. Not 100% sure how that's supposed to work. Again, very little, if anything, in this game is explained, and what is explained is not explained very thoroughly. That can be fun, but it can also be frustrating, like in situations like this, where I know what a thing does, I just can't figure out how to make it do the thing that I know it does. All right. I've also heard tell, and I don't know if it's true, but apparently you can find other ships out here, like abandoned ships, and claim them as your own. And there are some people that have suggested that that's actually a really good way to get some of the better ships in the early game, but I've never found myself in a situation where that was the case. Maybe I'm just not talking to the right people. Get it! Ow! Not only did I miss that one, I also lost the one that was in the cargo hold. No! No! My riches! Damn you, physics! And here I was telling myself I didn't need a baffle in the cargo hold. It's a small cargo hold. Nothing's gonna come flying out. It'll be fine. Well, looky here. Oh no. Okay, so this is what I was talking about before, where you can clearly see that there are 3 ships marked as UIO. These are unequivocally bad guys, and if they see me, they will absolutely try to kill me. I'm gonna go ahead and mark them as hostile, because I know that they are. Also, we can see that they're up here, and they appear to be moving in my direction, so I need to get the F out of here. I'm not gonna leave just yet, but I definitely need to be moving in the opposite direction, because going towards them, especially to chase a little beryllium nugget, is not gonna help me, and it's gonna probably actively get me killed. Or at least damaged to the point where it might be a run-ender. Because that's the thing, if the parts of my ship get damaged, or alternately, if the ship gets completely destroyed, and I can't afford to replace those losses, then that's it. That's game over. So, again, definitely not an ideal scenario. And those are just a few of the risks that you could potentially run into out here. But knowing that these jokers are out here automatically kind of just puts me on edge and makes me very, very nervous. So I'll have to keep an eye on the LiDAR up in the upper left-hand corner and make sure that they're not sneaking up on me at any point. Because this microwave is not gonna help me fight them at all. I mean, you see the kind of damage that it's doing, well, the kind of damage that it's not doing to the rocks. So, that's not gonna end much better for us if we have to duke it out with these UIO guys. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and grab what I can. I'm not gonna be too picky right now, because the less time spent out here, the better. Again, I already burned through about 60k just to be in this area of the belt without having to get here the hard way. So we're already at the 60k mark, so we made our money back. Now we just need to see if we can come out net positive. Thank you, baby Jesus. Give me that beryllium. Give me the beryllium. Give it. This will make up for the one we lost earlier. Come to mama. Thank you. Oh no. We're getting more beeps. Oh, now there's even more of them. Okay, this is, it's getting a little sketchy. It's getting a little extremely sketchy right now. Like, I don't know if they're actively here because of me, because I'm in the area, or if this is just random chance, but I don't like it at all. Hey, what do we got? Oh, no. Yeah. I feel like they're getting closer. Maybe I'm just paranoid. I've played a lot of Shadowrun. Paranoia runs in my bones. Uh-oh, a 10k beryllium nugget. A 10k beryllium nugget. Ah, and it's in the direction of the bad guys, but screw it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's all go get rich. Or die trying. Oh, the timing. Oh! And we lost more beryllium. No, no, no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I refuse. But yeah, we're also getting very, very close to the weight limit here. Yes, I know, I can hear it. I know. I apologize for all of this racket. Yep, that's it. That is it. That is a full cargo hold. Oh no. We're just gonna have to go with what we got. I can't, for whatever reason, the cargo hold is just not working properly, and I can't get any of the cargo to stay in the cargo hold. Like, I'm trying to get it all to just fly back in there. There we go. Okay. Okay. Disaster averted. For the time being, anyway. Let's see if our friends are close. Wage descent, bounty hunt. Outstanding. Have a good hunt. In fact, I see on the radar we got this guy going crazy up here. There's a part of me that wants to go up there and check it out, but like I said before, we do not have a combat vessel, so I don't think it's going to be in our interest. Or beryllium flying off into the ether. I will go after that one, though. 11k, here we come! Come on, baby. Livin' La Vida Loca here. We're charging blindly into what appears to be a rather large asteroid field. Yeah, we're gonna have to get out of here. Like, I'm having some serious cargo hold issues. I'm hoping if I go back, reset, and get the baffles, that will get rid of that issue, or at least lessen it to some degree. Yes, I know. I hear the racket. I understand. Thank you. Alright. Let's get the F out of here before that noise drives me and you insane. More insane, in my case. Well, that certainly could have gone better. I'll take 116k though. It's not the worst payday for the amount of effort that we put in. Alright. Let's have a look at repairs, because we have certainly been running into some stuff here. everything's in the 80s. It's not the end of the world. Alright, well. I think I'll go with what we got for now. In the meantime, see if we got any decent ships for sale. Nothing that we can buy, but... no dice. Alright, then what about equipment? Let me see. Because again, clearly, we got the basic nanodrone storage. So do I need a nanodrone thing? Tug drones? What are tug drones? What do these do? Disposable nanodrone assembler uses parts from storage. Ah. So this is the thing that I saw, but I can't afford it. And then it looks like there are some haul drones that will not only slow the stuff down, but actually bring it to you. Okay. That makes a little more sense. Well, if that's the case, then let's go ahead and get rid of the storage compartment for now. Just to save on weight. And then we know that we need how much? How much did we need for the tug drone? Tug drones, we need 250k. So we're going to need about 270k. Call it a nice round 300k in total to cover expenses and getting back out to the belt. But yeah, so we'll need about 300k before we can do that. But that will certainly increase our throughput if we manage to get that done. All right. Let's see. I think I got time for at least one more. Let's do another ring dive. See what we got. I don't know that I'm going to spend a great deal of money trying to get in again, but I will go a little deeper than we did last time. Just not so deep that we start immediately running into UIO people. Of course, having said that, let's make sure that I wasn't a liar. It doesn't look like it. Okay. So we spent about 40k to get here. We need to make at least that much back for this trip to be worth it. But ultimately, we want to make at least 150 to 160k to get us to our financial goal to be able to upgrade with the drones. So let's cross our fingers and hope for some good rocks. Let's see what the first rock is gonna give us. Oh man, beryllium and vanadium right off the bat. Well, I'm gonna let that go because it's already rolling out of here. The vanadium though, at 8k, and it's moving pretty slow, so I think that's not a bad haul. It does eat up a lot of weight on the ship, which I know I've said isn't ideal, but again, trying to minimize the amount of propellant we have to burn to chase these nuggets down unless they're really valuable. And I didn't buy the baffle because it turns out I was an idiot all along. CM light, is that? Hey, okay. Just making sure we didn't have any visitors in the vicinity. It doesn't look like it. What do you got for me? Nothing? No nuggets. Or platinum? Yeah, alright. You've convinced me. Alright. So we're making some okay progress. Already up to 21k, which isn't the worst. Really though? And you'll notice I've got some pitch and yaw issues here. When I just hold the forward thrust, I'm still kind of drifting in one direction or another. And that's because as the thrusters and things take damage, they start to work less effectively, and so you'll have an issue where your thrusters don't all work in tandem. And of course they do also start to get damaged from use as well. So you'll get to a point where your thrusters aren't quite doing what they should. And that's why it doesn't hurt to have a look every once in a while just to see how the thrusters are doing. You know, they could make a children's movie about perseverance and the value of friendship and have it star this microwave emitter. Because this is some, you know, little engine that could level stuff here. What do you got for me? Iron and iron. Thanks for nothing. If this one's also got iron in it, then I think we'll call this rocket bust. Oh, maybe not. Okay, we got some platinum. We got some vanadium. Alright, alright. It's not the worst rock. You can do it, little rock. More iron. Not great, not great. That's okay. That is okay. 5k. There. I don't think we're that desperate yet. We're still sitting at 32k. Good lord. I was not expecting to find this much, well, this many large chunks of iron this far in. I was expecting we were largely past that point of, yeah, like, again, a huge 2.5k nugget of iron. That's rare to find this far into the ring. It's a little strange. Still no one in the vicinity. Alright, alright, alright. Let's go ahead and put a stop to it. And we're gonna fry this puppy. Actually, you know what? Here, this is an opportunity for me to demonstrate something that the game allows you to do. And most people don't think about it, but this is a much, much faster way to break up rocks. And that is using thrust. See, we can just bump into that real quick and then thrust that puppy. And just like that. Instead of spending 20 minutes zapping this thing with a microwave, we can just hit it with the thrusters real quick. I don't know why I didn't think of that sooner. Big LiDAR contact. Let's see. Wait, what do you have to say? Just before we left, I saw a post on Ring Chan, really, that someone got a big LiDAR hit in this area. We might be the first ones in a position to check it out since the post went up. It might be a good idea to check it out. Who knows what we might find. Okay. So the big LiDAR contact is right here. Good gravy. 60 days to get there? Distance 70 kilometers. Why would it take us 60 days to go 70 kilometers? Oh no, that's never mind. I'm an idiot. That's how many days it will remain there for us to go to. The travel time is only 23 minutes. Good God. Learn to read, Mary. Alright, screw it. Let's check it out. Match velocity, oh God! Oh God! Why are you the way you are, space? Are we not? Okay, you're suspending the good mother? Mary of Joseph. Oh, for fuck's sake. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. We might be eating it. Oh, no. Ah, this is... I'm gonna have a heart attack. Stop. Everybody stop. Everybody stop. Everybody stop. Momentum stop. Everybody stop. Is that... Okay, it's not a ship. We're gonna have to find a better way to do this. So let me open up our map here. Geologist, no. Like, I was hoping that I could get a better view of the asteroids because we're gonna need a lot of... we're gonna need a lot of room in order to make this move. And unfortunately, the direction is determined by where we are relative to where the point of interest is. So yeah, I don't know if we'll actually be able to get there from here. I feel like we're not actually gonna be able to get there from here. Because I think, like, I feel like I'm just gonna keep getting right in the way of these asteroids. Do it! Do it! Match velocity, go! Do it! Do it now! I'm here! Kill me! Do it! Do it now! Come on, baby! Yeah! Ugh, that's rough. That is rough. Okay, so we are at the contact. What are we picking up in the area? We got a hail. See who we get. Can you sell us 5,000 kg of reaction mass? We just finished construction and our shipment is late. We'll pay ring rates. So 1,000 E-bucks per 1,000 reaction mass? Yeah, sure. Are you actually gonna make me dock, though, to do it? You are gonna make me do it. Okay. Well, I guess we'll head in this direction. And hopefully it's not a trap. I don't know if that's even a thing. What the F? Habitat Ubuntu 7. Is this... Yeah, this is the guys that we were talking to. Okay. So are these arms? Yeah, they're arms. Okay. So I have played around with the arms, so I recognize them. Do I just... Okay, yeah, so I just roll up to the arm and I guess it'll pull me in? Okay. How about that? Hey, hey, hey! Is that it? Is that it? Am I allowed to leave? Okay. Well, okay, that's a first for me. Never run into that before. And on the plus side, it did get us a little bit further into the ring, and this appears to be a relatively safe location, at least. I didn't pick up any other ships here, it's just the habitat, so... I mean, hopefully this isn't gonna be one of those things where it's like a predetermined area, and so all of the mining is crap. Because we don't have a whole lot of transit and Delta V left, so... the issue that we're going to start to run into is perhaps we're not going to have enough Delta V to go anywhere else. And I have not gotten nearly as much in terms of wealth as what I was hoping. And we're certainly nowhere near the goal that I had set to get 300k. Yeah, these rocks are not looking real great. So far, it's a lot of iron. Well, that one might be worth it. It's only 3k, though. Hey, look at that! Our crew is leveling up! Yeah, there's so much doo-doo out here. Whole beryllium. Only 5k worth, though. Yeah, like, a lot of these rocks are just empty. Like, I'm busting them and then they just don't have anything in them. Yeah, I don't know. In hindsight, it may not have been a great idea to come out this way, but... too late to backtrack on it now. The die has been cast. That's okay, it's not the end of the world. What? Why are you beeping? So many beep. Beep, 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 beep. Don't worry. I haven't forgotten to someday, maybe, eventually, turn off that beep. Not today, though. And certainly not right now. But someday. Can't believe we're scrounging for frickin' vanadium nuggets out here because there's nothing else. I should not be this far into the rings and picking up garbage. I shouldn't call vanadium garbage. It's okay, it's just... It's not the most space or weight efficient mineral for us to be making money on. Guess I don't have a lot of options here. And we're gonna get bumped. Iron and... oh, that's a lot of platinum. Again, not particularly weight efficient, but at this point, I think I'm just gonna take whatever I can get. I think the dream of making 300k on this run is not gonna come to fruition. Maybe on the next run, but definitely not this one. I'm sorry. You what? You need a raise. Pay scale for skill set. I don't know if you know what? It's fine. I'll give you a little more money. I don't want to be a terrible boss. Now, don't suck, though. That's the thing. Like, you want more money, that's fine. But don't suck. Does that make me a bad boss? I feel like I'm a bad boss. Then again, I think I've worked more than a few jobs where the simple act of asking for a raise is usually grounds to either be fired within short order or be put on the list of people to be fired the next time they need to lay some people off. But then again, maybe that's just indicative of the shitty jobs that I've had over the course of my long and illustrious career. What the Tef? Oh, nice. I mean, again, I know it's not worth a whole... Ow! I know it's not worth a whole lot, but beryllium doesn't weigh that much. Why do you do this to me, beryllium? You put me in situations where I'm gonna die. It's like you hate me. Zap the rock, stupid. What do we got? I don't think any of those rocks were worth a damn. Yeah. Even the one with beryllium isn't worth that much. That one might be worth it. Get some tungsten. Still just the station near... Which... Hold on. Which is it? I think it's that one. I'm trying to figure out which is actually the rock, and I think that's the one. More tungsten, but not a lot. What do you got for me? Nothing of value. But nothing in that rock. $70K. Again, a little bit short of the goal, but We still got plenty of time. I'm not entirely out of propellant yet. Although our delta V is getting pretty low. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Future weapons here, boys. Future weapons. More iron. So you're telling me this rock is worthless? That's what I'm getting from here. More iron and a negligible amount of tungsten. Congratulations, you have once again somehow managed to find all the garbage. I seem to have a knack for that. Look, I'm trying to find just one more decent rock before we try to pack it in. And the powers just do not seem to want to give me that. I'm trying not to burn up what little bit of Delta V we have left, because whatever we pick up is going to be heavy, and so I'm going to need some extra propellant so that we can get back. But again, it's not working out in our favor. Again, more doo-doo rocks. More doo-doo rocks. And you really gonna do me like this? I'm gonna get over here to this big rock, hit it with the thrusters. See if we can find something decent in here. Coming in ass first. That's what she said. And boom. We'll hit that one again. And again. What do you have for me? Whole lot of nothing. Today is just not my day. Don't worry, this is gonna be the one. I can feel it. I don't think this is the one. I don't think this is the one. It's more of the same. You son of a bitch! So, I think if there's one major takeaway from this little excursion, it's that, who was it? Our geologist, our astrologer, whoever it was that was saying, oh yeah, I heard about this on such and such message board. That person is an idiot. That's what you get for getting your freaking claim advice from Space 4chan. I'm old enough to have spent plenty of time on 4chan when I was in my younger days. And I don't think, well, okay. Some things of value came from it, but not enough to justify that level of trust. Oh, yeah, you're doo-doo. All right. This is a largely fruitless endeavor, so I'm gonna go ahead and get us out of here. I'm gonna head back, even though we don't have a full cargo hold. We could certainly do better. But, oh, why? Well, hello there, Hi Mars. How are you? Sorry, I was kind of in my own head there about not getting anything. Well, good to hear. Good to hear. Appreciate you stopping in, of course. Are you familiar with Delta V at all? And you're right, I am kind of doing a recording as well. I put most of my recordings up on my YouTube just as a VOD, since Twitch is kind of not great about that. Well, if you like micromanaging games, I wouldn't say that this is necessarily micromanaging, not in a civilization or city builder kind of way, but it is very crunchy in terms of its simulation. Let's see, I'm gonna go for equipment. I was working on getting some drones. Let me see, so we need the drone bay. Which is, where is the, oh, I still can't afford the tug drones. Damn it. This game has actually been around for a while. It was in early access for several years. I think it's developed by like 2 or 3 guys or something like that. It might even be one guy, but, they just released 1.0 recently. I think it was a month or 2 ago, and I had been following the game for a long time, but never really played it. And then because they hit 1.0, I figured I'd check it out, and figured I would stream it as well. So if anybody else was interested, I know it doesn't have a huge player base, but if you're into this kind of, again, very crunchy sort of physics heavy and simulation heavy kind of game, it's definitely one of those. Let's see. I'm looking at a laser here because I want to upgrade from the microwave array to the laser. And I can do that, but we're not going to have enough power, so then we need to upgrade the reactor to have a little more power. Yeah, I don't know if you're familiar with Splattercat, and he is actually the one who, I saw his video on YouTube about this going 1.0, and that's kind of what made me want to check it out as well. Well, if you want somebody to talk to, I'm more than happy to play that role for you. I don't mind having a chat. If you're gonna take the time to show up in my stream and spend some time with me, I got no problem having a chat with you as well. See here. We're going to increase the reactor core. So I think we go 160 to give us a little more reactor, and then, yeah, we're still not going to have enough. Poop. Oh, my day was not terrible. Thankfully, I did not have to work today, so that's always a good thing. It is actually night for me at this point. I'm looking at my clock. It's about 10 o'clock, so day is winding down. But so far, so good. I don't have any complaints. It beats the alternative. Oh, okay. So if it's morning for you, that puts you, what, in the Eastern, Western European time zone? Alright, alright. Well, hopefully if you're in the Eastern European time zone, you're not in the area of import, if you know what I mean. Things are a little rough in that area of the world. Which nation are you from, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, okay, Moldavian. That's one that, if I hadn't played so many strategy games, I would not even know where that is. But, yeah, that's definitely in the Boom Boom area, so hope you're safe. Or as safe as you can be in that part of the world these days. Alright. Yeah, it's a very sticky situation in that part of the world, and for me at least, it's an odd situation because I am American by birth. I was born and raised in the United States, but my grandparents actually immigrated to the United States from Georgia, the country Georgia, just after World War II. So I still have some family in that area of the world, and I'm always afraid for how things are going. So I definitely I definitely know the feeling of everything going wrong around you and kind of being powerless to do anything about it. Yeah, Georgia is... I hesitate to call it the Middle East, but it's closer to a Middle Eastern nation. It's the Armenia kind of area in there. Oh no, I'm not... I am not in the state of Georgia here in the United States. I am in the South, though, but no, I actually live in Texas, so I'm from big cow, big car, big gun, big hat country. Here, at least in this part of Texas, it's not too bad. I live in one of the less conservative parts of the state, so politics isn't an issue. We don't deal with a lot of the gun violence and stuff that you see on the news, so all in all, it's not bad. It could certainly be worse. There are many worse places to live here in the US, so I can't complain too much. I have been fortunate in that regard. As a matter of fact, we just welcomed a Ukrainian refugee at my job about 3 months ago. He ended up having to pack up his entire family, his wife and 2 kids, and tried to get out while he could, so it's been interesting hearing about things from his point of view as well. Then I'm going to another country. Did you have one in particular in mind? Like a place that you've always wanted to go? Or did you just kind of one of those, go anywhere that's not where you are right now. Gonna try to pick up some rocks here. I still have a financial goal that I'm trying to get to on this stream. I'm gonna see if we can get there this run. So you say you want to find someone that pays well for what you do, so I assume, what are you going to university for? I assume that's what you mean. But what are you going to university for? Because depending on what you're trying to learn, that could definitely have an impact on where the best place to be is. Obviously, a doctor is going to be more useful in certain countries than others, and, you know, if you want to be an aeronautical engineer or a graphics designer or something like that, yeah, there's different opportunities wherever you go. Aha, med school, okay. Well, the world could always use more doctors, so... If you do well, then I would say, really, it's not a matter of where you can go, it just becomes a matter of where do you want to go, because good doctors are always going to be in demand, no matter where you are. So it's a good career field. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, are we gonna run into the rock? No, don't run into the rock. Don't hit the rock! There we go. There we go. Oh no, that's... I understand that completely. Even... I think everybody has a little bit of an attachment. I mean, it's where all your memories are, it's where your family is, it's where all your friends are. It's hard to leave all that behind. But, the best advice I ever had, and I've tried to use it throughout my life, is... In life, the only thing that changes if you do nothing is the date. And so, sometimes, even if it's uncomfortable, it's better to make a change if the change could make your life better. And the thing is, even if you go somewhere else, even if you go somewhere else and it doesn't work out, you still have family and friends back home. And I'm sure they would be more than happy to have you come back if you had to. So really, it's uncomfortable, but it's not the end of the world. And besides, sometimes you learn interesting things and meet interesting people by going places that you've never been before. I know that was definitely the case for me. I grew up like you in a very small town and didn't know a lot of people, but once I actually got out into the wider world, I started to meet new people and understand new concepts. It was always always a good situation to learn new things and meet new people. Yeah, if you're getting into the medical field, I don't know if I would recommend the United States. There's a whole lot of issues with the current medical system in this country, and because medicine is privatized, a lot of doctors and medical professionals are not treated very well. That's not to say that they're not respected for what they do, but the public generally has a pretty dim view of doctors just because of the way the industry has handled itself. And that's not the fault of doctors. I don't blame doctors for that. It's just when you go to the hospital, you're not seeing the executive making all the bad decisions. You're seeing the doctor. And so when you don't like what's going on, you tend to blame the doctor, even if it's not their fault. And that sucks. I wish that wasn't the way things are. Well, if the objective is just to make money, you will certainly do that working in the medical profession. It also depends on what specifically you're trying to major in. I mean, obviously a brain surgeon is going to make a whole lot more than, you know, a nurse or an orderly, so... well, cardio, you will not have any shortage of customers. Unfortunately, I'm sure you already know, we have something of a cardio problem in this country. Yeah, there's the smoking, there's also, you know, the terrible diet that we typically practice here, and a lot of people don't exercise enough, and yeah, it's a whole lot of things. I mean, it's sad because it's actually cheaper and easier to get a terrible cheeseburger that's gonna give you heart problems than it is to get a salad. It's like, if you want a burger, you can get a burger for $2. If you want a salad, it's gonna cost you $12. And most people don't have that kind of money, so they just buy the bad food because it's what they can afford. Now see, that's something that I can respect. That is definitely one of the things that I appreciate, especially in Eastern Europe. Because just, you're right. My grandparents also had their own garden. They actually grew strawberries. And that was their whole thing, is they wanted to grow plants. Oh, there's a little nugget up there. Go for that one. But yeah, cardiovascular medicine is certainly a lucrative career field here in the US. So I would say stick at it, because you definitely won't have a problem finding work in that area. That's for sure. Yeah, and it's funny because I read an interesting article many years ago that said something along the lines of, part of the reason that we have such an obesity problem here in the United States is because during the Great Depression, people didn't have a lot of food and didn't always know when they were going to have another meal. And so there was this emphasis on always eating as much food as you can when you have it. And then once the Great Depression was over and food was easy to get again, people just kept that mentality of always eating. Because even here, like, parents tell their kids all the time, oh, eat all your food. And the kids will say, oh, well, I'm not hungry. But then the parents still insist that they eat the food anyway. And then they're surprised when their kids get fat. And it's like, well, you made your kid eat when they weren't hungry. What did you expect? But I wish it was a simple problem to fix. Unfortunately, like most issues, it's not. Yeah, that definitely has a lot to do with it as well. I think that's another thing that, at least here in the US, our school system doesn't do a very good job of educating people on food health and nutrition and things like that. So a lot of people don't understand caloric intake and the value of that, and so it's all about fat and sugar and other buzzwords instead of, you know, hey, if it doesn't matter so much what you eat as long as you don't eat too much. 2,000 calories is 2,000 calories. And ultimately, if you only need 2,000 calories but you're eating 4, 5, 6,000, then yeah, that's going to cause a problem. Oh yeah, I would say there are definitely some people that know that and want that to be the case because it's profitable. But that's not just medicine. I think that's with any industry. Anytime there's money to be made, the well-being of people usually comes second. Let's see. Well, cargo hold's getting a little full. Yeah, I mean, that's an entire discussion on its own, but I don't want to get too deep down the rabbit hole of politics and economics, because that's just a depressing subject. And there's plenty of time for activism and fighting the power when I'm not on stream. And Lord knows there's plenty of powers that be in need of fighting in this part of the world. Let's see, I think I'm gonna break one more rock, and then I think that'll be all we can carry on this run. But yeah, I definitely wish you luck on your journey through the medical profession. I know it can be rough. A friend of mine, a very good friend of mine actually, went through med school as well. And she absolutely loves her work. So hopefully you will too. Do they give me money? By they, do you mean Twitch? Oh, yes. Yeah, in the game, that is pretty much the entire game, is I am mining these asteroids, and all these little green blips that you see are like the nuggets of valuable minerals that are in those rocks, and then I collect them in the ship, take them back to the station, and then make the money. And then the money is used to upgrade the ships, hire better crew, and just make things more efficient. Once I get back to the station, I can actually show you. I have been in the very early part of the game. I probably only have about 6 to 10 hours in this game so far. So this is the very basic level of gameplay. This is not as crazy as it gets. Yeah, I enjoy this game. No, it's, I forget how much it is. I think it was $20 US when I bought it. But I also bought it years ago, back when it was still in early access, so the price might be a little higher now. But it is on Steam, if you have Steam. As a matter of fact, now that we're at our financial goal, I am going to go ahead and head back to the station. So this is plotting a course, and I'll show you kind of how big the game world is here in a second. Well, I won't encourage it, but I'm sure there are ways to find this game if you're willing to sail the high seas. And it's not a very big game either. I think the full install is only 600 megabytes or something. Like, the game runs on Flash, so it's a very simple game, but it's got a good gameplay loop. So I'm selling the rocks now, and then at this point, there's a lot of different things that I could do. You already saw me looking at the equipment and stuff, but like in the fleet, I can go buy new ships. And they have all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, this is the ship that I'm currently using. This is like the basic ship that they give you at the very beginning. But you can get these big cruisers and crazy huge stuff like this. And all of these ships have different abilities. They do different things, have different hard points, so you can mount different types of equipment on them. And then, like, if I was going to go here, pretty much what you've seen so far is from about right here on the map to about right here on the map. But all this, you can go all the way back here, and this is about the far edge of the game map. And so it's a very huge map, but it's all procedurally generated as well. So you're getting a different experience. As for what I'm gonna get right now, I'm sticking with the basic ship because I don't have enough money to afford any of these. I've only got $188,000, but you can see even the cheap ships are like $365,000. Yes, it is Saturn. This is the rings of Saturn in the future, and all of these people are just out here mining to make a living. It's not a super stressful game once you learn how to play it. Like, once you learn how the controls work and everything, and you get comfortable with it, it's actually a pretty chill game. It's very slow paced, and it's just, if you've ever played like Power Wash Simulator or like one of these other simulator types of games, it's very much like that in terms of the way it feels. It's a very slow paced, chill game. You can just sit down, play as long as you want or as little as you want, and then that's it, you're done. So, like, if you do one run, sometimes it takes 20-30 minutes, sometimes it can take 2 hours. It just depends on how long you want to spend on it. If you like strategy games, there are some out there. Again, this isn't really strategy, it's definitely more of simulation. Yeah. If you like simulations, I think you'll like this. Again, it does... One thing that I will warn you about is they don't really tell you anything about the game or how it works, aside from... They basically give you the basic controls on how to control the ship, and then that's it. They turn you loose. They don't explain how anything works. They don't explain any of the different equipment or the ships or anything like that. You just kind of have to figure it out on your own. But there are people that have made guides for the game that help a little bit, but because it's a little bit of a smaller game, it's sometimes hard. But I think that's fun too. Just kind of playing around with it and trying to figure out what to do and how to do the things that you want. Like, I had to spend some time figuring out how to get drones to work. I'm sure you saw whenever I'm breaking the rocks, sometimes the nuggets will go flying off into the middle of nowhere at high speed. So they have these small drones that you can put on, and those drones will slow the rocks down so that they don't go flying off. And it took me a little while to figure out how that worked. And that's what I was saving up money for, was to get the tug drones that will stop that from happening. But I still can't afford it, so instead, man, I keep upgrading my reactor, but I still cannot mount this laser. Let me see. Maybe if I go with an ultra capacitor array, slap this bad boy on there. Because the first mining laser that you get is actually really good. I'm just gonna slap it on there and see what happens. Let's see, I've been streaming for a little while, but I'm gonna do one more dive just to test out the laser. Okay, so we gotta... Occasionally you have to pay for a hotel for your crew so that they don't get unhappy. Let's see. Nah, I'll just start on the outside. So there's a little bit of a progression system as well. So right here on the outer edge, if you notice up here, this is the final cost, how much it's going to cost you to get to that point. And so on the outer edges of the rings, everything is very low value and it's very cheap. But as you go deeper into the rings, you see the cost to get there increases by quite a bit. But by going deeper into the rings, you don't have to search as hard to find valuable minerals. So yeah, it's a fair trade-off where you spend a little more money, but by spending extra money, you hope to make it back. I like to start on the very edge, at least in the beginning, and then I just sort of fly farther in on my own because it doesn't cost me any money to do that. It just costs time. Now, I have turned on the laser. Okay, it's not draining the battery as bad as I thought it was going to. That's good. Alright, well, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna hit the thrusters and burn hard. And so if you notice up here in the top right, there's this visual feed. And you'll notice there's those bright flashes of light. Every one of those flashes is an engine from a ship. Sometimes it's mine, sometimes it's somebody else's. But like, for example, if you notice when I'm sitting here using thrusters, or when I do an engine burn, you'll notice that you see the bright light there. So that's a good way for you to have a situational awareness of where things are around you. And this will also show you the same thing on the belt. So you can see right here, everything is kind of shallow. This is the outer edge, and this is where the rocks start to get a little more dense. But I like the laser because there's no delay. I can just zap stuff from a long distance. And then if you look up here in the upper left, this is LiDAR. It's effectively a radar, so each little blip on the radar will tell you where an object is, and it will tell you its relative velocity compared to you. So any white dot is an object that is moving relatively the same speed and direction as you. A blue dot is moving away from you, and a red dot is moving towards you. Eek. That one landed a little hard in the cargo bay. But yeah, with this mining laser, I'm able to hit these rocks from much farther away, and it melts them very, very quickly. So if you notice as I'm flying, there's this line with the little symbol here. This is effectively my direction of travel. It's where my momentum is going, so I can use that as a guideline. And you notice I'm kind of just flying in between the rocks here and trying to avoid running into them. Let's see, anything valuable here? No, it doesn't look like it. Man, I've got to stop running into these nuggets. It is sort of a roguelite type of game, so it is definitely possible to fail or end up in a state where you can't recover. So if you blow up your ship, then that's pretty much it. If you have enough money, you could potentially buy a new ship. But if you lose your ship and you can't buy a new one, or you can't repair the one you have, that's pretty much it. The run's over, and then you have to start a new game. Which isn't as bad as it sounds. It's not the end of the world if you lose your ship and you have to start over, because it's actually very easy to get started. Because when you start a new game, they give you basically the ship that I have. I've upgraded a few items on it, but they give you a fully functional ship at the very beginning. So you have everything that you need to get started, and once you know kind of the ins and outs, and you know how to make money and which minerals to look for and things like that, you can get back on your feet pretty quickly. And that's what I like about the game. It's a steep learning curve, but once you've learned the game, it's actually really easy to get into it and to just have a good time with it. And sometimes I start over just for fun. Like, I've started multiple runs not because I've failed or lost, but just because I wanted to try something different. That's true. I mean, there's always going to be some frustration whenever you fail or whenever you lose a lot of hard work, but that's part of the risk. It's I don't know if you've ever played EVE online, but that's kind of the thing that they tell you in EVE is never fly anything you can't afford to lose. But thankfully, when you get into the bigger ships and the more powerful equipment, it's a lot harder to fail catastrophically, because you have a lot of safety nets. You'll have like repair drones to keep the ship in one piece. You'll have powerful weapons so you can protect yourself, and stuff like that. So it is one of those gameplay loops where the longer you play, the easier it gets. So if I had, a really good ship and really good equipment, and I just stayed here in the outer part of the ring where everything is really easy, there would be basically no threat to me. I wouldn't have to worry about dying. And that's kind of the incentive, is they say, okay, well, we're going to give you this really powerful stuff, but they're giving it to you because they hope that you'll go farther in and try to do more dangerous things. But it's up to you. If you don't want to live dangerously, you don't have to. It's the best kind of sandbox game because it doesn't try to force you to do anything you don't want to do. At least once you get out of the early game. Like, once you have enough money and you're stable and you have a good ship and crew, the game can be as easy or as hard as you want it to be. Not that I know of. I can't say no for sure, but I don't think there are any aliens in this game. It's very much like a hard sci-fi kind of game. Oh, yeah. There we go. Forgot about that. But yeah, there is some pretty crazy stuff from what I understand. I mean, you can run into some very big ships and like space stations, and there are other factions. There's like bounty hunters that will be out here trying to keep the peace. There's like pirates that will try to blow you up or rob you, so you do have to be careful of that. So there's stuff to interact with if you want. Oh yeah, there are definitely some dangers, other than, you know, the danger of running into an asteroid if you're not paying attention. But again, if you stay in the outer parts of the ring, you're not really going to run into any pirates. There are some guys, and I don't think there are any here now. No, there aren't. But there's one type of ship. So you notice here, when I pull this up and I go to the pilot screen, this will show me any ships that are nearby. But if you ever see one of these where, so like this is a transponder code. If you ever see, instead of a transponder code, it just says UIO, that's a bad guy, and if they see you, they are going to try to kill you. They're basically like space terrorists. But those are the only guys that are 100% bad all the time. Everybody else, usually they'll leave you alone as long as you leave them alone. And I am clearly not going far enough in, because I'm not finding anything. Oh, well, I say that, and then there's a 10k chunk right there. Oh yeah, all of the... So in the lore of the game, all of the mining ships and all of the equipment that they use is basically like military surplus stuff. So the very first mining laser thing that you get is a mass driver. And it's just a regular old, like, it's an old school military mass driver, and you just use it to shoot the asteroids and break them open. And then you get a little further in, like where I'm at now, where you get to like military lasers. But yeah, you can absolutely attack other ships. And you can even be the aggressor if you want. If you want to be a pirate and attack people first, you can do that too. Although if you do, eventually bounty hunters will start to come after you. But it's still an option. Yeah, when, I don't know exactly what you get for destroying them because I've never done it myself, but I know you can loot ships after you've attacked and destroyed them. So I don't know if you just get the minerals that they have, or if you can get parts and stuff from it. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't tried that part of the game yet. Oh, that's one worth having. Oh, come on now. Yeah, and I think maybe, like, again, I'm not 100% sure how it works, but I would think that, to me, that would be a good thing. I think if you could get parts from attacking other ships, then that would be a benefit, because then it actually gives you incentive to be a pirate. Because in a lot of games, being the bad guy, you don't really get anything for it. It's not, it doesn't benefit you to be the bad guy, it's just you being the bad guy. Let's see. We got any new people? Yeah, we got a couple of guys here. What do you got? So I'm just, every time I see a new ship, I like to hail them and figure out what they're doing. And then I'll mark them as either friendly or hostile, depending on the interaction. And even though the ships and all the characters are procedurally generated, it does remember the ships that you encounter. So if you encounter them again, it'll remember, oh yeah, you marked this guy as friendly, so you don't have to worry about that guy. And as far as the controls go, like, I'm not sure if you've ever played, like, Kerbal Space Program, but that is, to me, that's the way this game controls, or at least that's the way it feels. It's very similar in the way that the ship has momentum, and you have to counteract for that. Obviously, Delta V is a concern, so if you don't have enough Delta V, you can't get back, and things like that, so it's... Like, if you have any familiarity with Kerbal, it's very similar in that regard. Not the having to launch into space part, but the once you're actually in space and how everything controls, it feels very similar to that, to me. And something that I've been meaning to do every time I go back to the station, and then I always forget to do it. I don't know if you're hearing it, but the game is beeping at me almost constantly. And that beeping is up here on the LiDAR every time a contact shows up, like a new contact. It beeps to let you know. The problem is, that gets really annoying after a while. Because, as I'm sure you've been hearing, it's just constant. It just beep, 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 beep all the time. Let's see. So another thing to consider if you do decide to play the game is understand that every piece of salvage or ore that you pick up is going to increase the overall weight of your ship, the mass of your ship. And that's going to affect your Delta V. So when you're looking up here, you see propellant, that's how much fuel you have. And then you have the transit reserve, which is how much fuel you need to get back at your current weight, at your current mass. So if you'll notice, every time I pick up a rock, every time I pick up a nugget, the amount of transit reserve that I need is going to go up. But as you see, like every time I'm burning propellant, because I'm using fuel, it's decreasing the weight of my ship, and because the ship is getting lighter, the amount of transit reserve that I need is getting lower. And so that's what I mean when I say it's very crunchy and simulation heavy, because it tracks all of that. And so even in the early game, when, for example, when they give you the mass driver needs ammunition. And so that carries weight, and the more times you fire the mass driver, the less weight there is because you've used up all the ammunition. And then obviously when you do like I did and you switch over to the laser, then that mass driver ammo is no longer needed and you can get rid of it and save a lot of weight on your ship. Oh, shit. That's not what I meant to do. Oh well, it's gone. see. Yeah, that one might be worth it. Come to mama. Alright. Uh-oh. Well, that sounds like the cargo bay might be getting a little full. Alright, let's see. Can we thread the needle? I don't think we can. Momentum is not in the right place. Poop! We're gonna run into this rock. Oh, why are you gonna tease me? Don't tease me with beryllium. Alright, let's see. Nah, we still got some room in the cargo hold. It's not a disaster just yet. Ah, so much iron. So much iron, and it's all worthless. Also, some of my thrusters are getting a little worn out, so might be time for some repairs when we get back. Let's see. We're getting pretty close to the limit on the transit reserve. I don't know, might break a few more rocks here and see if we can find anything. And then, if I don't find anything good, might be time to pack it in. See what we got. Oh, beryllium! Yes, Daddy! Give me the beryllium! That's the good stuff. Uh-oh. So whenever you hear that racket, it means that I have ore stuck in the doors. And so sometimes I have to hit the thrusters to make that stuff slide back in there. Yeah. Ah! See a little bullet time there? Whenever you get really close to a rock and the game thinks that you're going to crash into somebody, then it slows down. Try to give you time to dodge. That looks like a beryllium rock. It is a beryllium rock. Oh, come on. Yeah, the thrusters are starting to get worn out on me. Definitely gonna need to repair them when we get back. But that's to be expected. I think this is, what, 5 or 6 dives now that I've done on these thrusters without repairing them yet? Alright. So we've got 131,000 in the cargo hold. We got about 5k propellant left for our transit reserve, but I'm just gonna go ahead and head back to the station and call it a day. Just gotta get to a point. So whenever we come in, we're always entering from the left side of the screen. So whenever we exit, we're exiting from the left side of the screen as well. So, and then we will go up here and plot a course to the station. What are you doing? Oh, poop. Why do you care about proximity? The rock is behind you. Once more with feeling. Really? There, are you happy now? Really? It's gonna be beryllium that goes flying off of here? Alright. See what we got. It was a little less than 130k, but that's alright. Still a good haul. Well enough. With that, I think I'm gonna call it here. So, I've done about 6 dives today, and that is a lot of mining. So, let me do this. Oh, that was interesting. What are you doing to me? Sorry, I'm trying to get the game to close out here and it's not wanting to be cooperative. There we go. That's weird. I've never had that bug before. It's like it crashed when I tried to close it. Alright. Oh, with that, I'm gonna call it a stream. It has been fun. Hi Mars, good to see you, and I hope you have a good day today, since you said it was morning. Hopefully it's a good day, a safe day, and try to stay safe with that neck of the woods. And, of course, good luck with the university. Again, world could always use more doctors, and hopefully you'll be one of the good ones. But with that, I don't know what I'm going to stream next time. I don't even know when I'm going to stream next time, but if you care, you can follow me here, or you can follow me on Twitter. You can always check on the YouTubes and see the VODs from all of these streams if that's what you like. But before I go, the message that I always give to anybody that graces me with your presence is thank you for showing up. Thank you for giving me your time. I appreciate it more than you could possibly know. And more importantly, I want you and everybody else that's here to know that you are worth something. Your life means something. You have value. And never let anybody tell you different. With that being said, enjoy your evening, your morning, your afternoon, your day. And I hope it's a good one. We'll see you next time.